my god. I was sitting here listening to Moving again, and it just started fading into Saxophone song, and I was like, that sounds like a different ending. So I've listened to the first 14 seconds of Saxophone song. I didn't mean to, but, sometimes things happen. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. As I just mentioned, we're going to listen to Saxophone Song by Kate Bush off of her album The Kick Inside, released in 1970. Hold on, I actually have the year, I think, wrong. 1978. I almost said the wrong year. Sorry about that. Saxophone was one of those instruments that when I was younger, I really wanted to learn because I had grown up around a lot of jazz, and, saxophone was like the cool thing to learn. And I can't say that I have an interest in learning the saxophone now, but it is quite a more brilliant instrument than I thought, especially in the hands of, like, let me just put it in, like Van de Graaff generator. Like, if you're like that, that opened up a whole new world of saxophone and what the saxophone could do, listening to that. So anyways, that's a random thought. Let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of Kate Bush Saxophone Song. You know what? Just because I did, let me go back to Moving, play like the last few seconds of that, and let it lead on in. Let's go.
Find me in a bed in a corner brooding.
Can I say really quick that I especially love the ending of the track where Kate just allowed like some of the other musicians to just kind of go off, and they had a great time there at the end. I thought that was like really like a cherry on top of an already nice track here. Very sweet. And I really enjoy the like Steely Dan like smoothness and sleekness of the instrumentals there. The bass was being played beautifully, and then the guitar really started to rise with those long elongated notes. Saxophone, of course, is going to be present in a song named after it, and the saxophone is played by Alan Skidmore, who I looked up really quick, and he's an English jazz tenor saxophonist, and he's worked with artists such as Van Morrison, John Taylor, Elton Dean, not Elton John. Mike gives many others here. So like, I wonder why she got in contact with him specifically. Was it his saxophone playing that perhaps she had heard at some point and was like, wow, because she describes how the saxophone made her feel. And I just want to know, like, was it specifically his saxophone and she had to work with him? Or was it something else, For example, like, I haven't made music recently, but it would be like a dream to somehow work with David Sylvian in some capacity for me. Like, that would be just amazing, right? But I gotta make a song. I gotta work on some music. But I always thought about stuff like that, like to work with your heroes. So I just wonder if Skidmore, forgive me, was perhaps one of her heroes in this track. Listening to this one, this felt like a little bit more of a single from her. And I mean that with the highest respect. When I say a single, singles are very hard to make. A short 3-minute, almost 4-minute song is hard to make. It's hard to put so much into so little time, and I think that she did a fantastic job. For some reason, this reminds me of Fleetwood Mac a little bit, even though I haven't heard a lot from them. And even though the song is called Saxophone Song, there's not a ton of saxophone in here to the point that it's overriding the rest of the music. I love the doobity-doo or whatever she scats there in the line. She just does a little bit of a line, but I like the personality that it adds, not just having a literal saxophone in there, but even just using your voice to emulate a saxophone. I think that's a nice little creative choice. I actually wish that perhaps there was a little bit more of something like that, but either way, it sounds really nice. Her range, she doesn't push it as hard as, for example, in a song like Wuthering Heights, but doesn't her voice kind of like, there's almost like a, I can't even say, like a jazzy country folk rock kind of, like not that genre, but like there's something heading towards that genre. I think it's amazing listening to Kate Bush, especially in the beginning, because she's an artist that expanded and progressed. She didn't sit comfortably in one place. She made, I'm only listening to, a few songs off of this album so far, but she made this album, which so far has been like amazing as a debut, especially. And to hear and know now where she went from here, it's astonishing to me. It's remarkable, to put it simply. It's kind of like how we're listening to Yes right now of Time and a Word. That's their second album. And knowing where they went from there. And yet their beginnings were already so strong, so creative. But this ending jam they get into, this just feels so good. I love the keyboards here. Just poking holes in the night and allowing the light to come through. A little guitar. Feels good. Sounds great. Let's talk about the lyrics here, which, like I said, I really think are just talking about her love of the saxophone. You'll find me in a Berlin bar in a corner brooding. You know that I go very quiet when I'm listening to you. There's something very special indeed in all the places where I've seen you shine, boy. There's something very real in how I feel, honey. It's in me, and you know it's for real. Tuning in on your saxophone, doobie-doo, be-doo. I love that. She just goes to the bar, sits in the corner, orders a drink, and just sits there and absorbs, sits there and listens to the saxophone. And then the music kind of changes and becomes a little bit more of a romantic leaning. The candle burning over your shoulder is throwing shadows on your saxophone, a surly lady in tremor. The stars that climb from her bowels, those stars make towers on vowels. You'll never know that you had all of me. You'll never know the poetry you stirred in me. Of all the stars I've seen that shine so brightly, I've never known or felt in myself so rightly. It's in me, it's in me. and you know it's for real. Now, the lines there when she talks about, the candle burning over the shoulder, so it's casting shadows on the walls, and the stars that climb from her bowels, those stars that make towers on vows. I'm getting almost, and not to make this weird, but I'm getting like an orgasmic quality from it. Like she's feeling this, and not in a literal way, but she's feeling such a pleasure from it that's almost what she's getting from it. There's something of that nature in just how in love with the sound of the saxophone she is. I feel like there's a great and deep respect that she's paying to and paying tribute to with the specific instrument. Like I said, I don't know if this is a situation like in the last song when she was specifically attributing the song to someone and dedicating it in a way to someone, or if this is more of a general sound of the saxophone. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed the track. I hope that you come back tomorrow for whatever else we're doing here on the channel. You can follow me on Twitter, support the channel on Patreon. You can do so many things. But I hope that you had a great time. Hope you come back tomorrow, and I'll see you then, guys. Bye.